So welcome back. We left off on talking about consequences. So how does consequences go with unhealthy coping skills? So people who find themselves defaulting to maladaptive coping mechanisms, so unhealthy coping skills, and are experience difficulty utilizing effective coping strategies may eventually see a negative impact on mental and emotional well-being. So the consequences of practicing unhealthy coping skills can impact you negatively in your mental and emotional well-being. Who have difficulty time knowing how to cope with anxiety, stress, or anger may fall into the habit of relying on a maladaptive coping mechanism. So you find yourself kind of drawn to these autopilot maladaptive coping mechanism. So that's another consequence too. And another one, a lot of people focus on kind of like on alcoholism or drugs. So consuming alcohol can often help people feel less stress in the immediate moment, for example. So again, it's that like you're using that to help you in that moment, but the consequences in the long term, you can become dependent on it or face challenging situations, or it also could be detrimental to your health too. So now we're going to go into our tool. Our tool number 4: generate a list of unhealthy go-to coping skills. So this is in our work. So it's in the workbook on page 51 if you have it. If not, I will. If you're on my classroom, my Google Classroom, I will post the worksheet. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just shoot me an email and I'll send you the worksheet. So spend a few minutes. So just going over it. So spend a few minutes trying to identify unhealthy behavior habits you may have developed in response to these feelings. So like the last time I felt stressed out, I did. So just kind of explain what you did last time you felt stressed. So maybe think of a stressful time either during the week or the last couple of days. So just kind of something more recent, because you kind of remember a lot more than past ones. And then the next one is other things I have done in the past in an attempt to cope that have in some way hurt me are. So just thinking about how you coped in the past and what kind of unhealthy coping skills did you go to. And then the next one is some of my go-to autopilot coping skills are. So just make a list. If you need a refresher on the autopilot, just go back to that slide. So just making a list of your go-to unhealthy habits, coping skills. So if you have any questions about this lecture about coping skills or even about the worksheets, please feel free to email me your answers or questions. And if you feel comfortable next lesson, I will share them with the group. If you do not want me to share your answers in the group, and you just want me to keep it between you and me, just put the word private in the subject section of the email. And if you need if you just have any need clarification, just let me know. And my email is selfcare.encore@gmail.com. Make sure in the subject section you put self-care class. And that is the end of our lecture. These are also the references that I got the information for the slides. So if you feel like reading more about it or want more information, these are great references. They have a lot of great information. And a couple of them were actually blogs too from therapists. So I hope you guys have a great week and rest of the week and the weekend. And I will post the next lecture next week.